Yo, okay, let's do this. Now the route has changed quite a few times over the last couple of years. Now this route here, which it is a frame perfect item glitch. So there's only one frame where you're going to get all the items that you need. If not, it's a reset. So that's why this is, I mean, if you're good with like frame perfect accuracy, then maybe it won't be too hard to do it. I'm just gonna go through it from the top of my 13-minute 10-second run. Well, actually, I'll show you the ending of this, the previous run. Alright, thank you so much for the sub, for the resub. So you'll see here, there's a specific number of damage you need to do on the zombie. You need to do 126 exactly with Kazuo's prayer. Any other number is not going to work, as far as I know. Alright, 125. Let's just reset. So yeah, I reset there because it's not going to work. Let's just reset this whole run. And this didn't even happen. Okay, so Kazuo team up with Akiko. Switch to Asuka next, and have her clean the glass. Move her out the way. Switch to Emi, and have her team up with Kazuo. I saw Arcus playing this earlier for the Big 20. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So put that wood in Emi's first slot. Man, like, I feel like... And this, you're always going to get into an encounter, as long as you don't move any more tiles. You're going to get on an encounter in this spot every time. The step count is set from the beginning of the game. It's always the same number. But after that, depending on what frame you end the battle on, will determine the number of steps. From 11 to 75 steps. That's the window that you have until your next encounter. So we got a wisp here. If you get a wisp, use prey points. If you get the evil doll, you can use the wood. I put that wood in Kazuo's first slot. It doesn't really matter, you could put that in Emi's second slot. For those of you just joining us... Okay, now about this room here. So, I got a good step count number. If you get too low of a number, you'll get into an extra encounter in this room, which is a time waste. The time is getting very tight, so if I get an extra fight there, I'm probably going to reset at this point, you know what I mean? I'm going for sub 13 right now, or I will be next time I start grinding this again. All those little things add up, and every encounter, it could be like 10 to 15 seconds, you know what I mean? Perfect item glitch. Okay, so when you get here, place the strong board on the left side. I was able to... And place the weak board on the right side. But who knows? You have to take a specific amount of steps on the weak wood so it'll break at the right time. It's 5 steps total. So you have to take 4 steps on it prior getting into the fight. Run that good again. Emi will leave the team temporarily. She'll take 1 step on the weak board. And then she'll come back, join back with Kazuo. 1 more step up here. She goes up 1 more up here. And then she goes down 1. This will put Emi and Akiko on the board together. This is what you want to see right here. Kazuo up here. Emi, Akiko here. Now, if they take 1 more step off of that board, Emi will fall in, and that's what we want to happen. But it has to happen only when you're in a fight. Okay, so Emi leaves the team again. Actually, math teacher, I don't even want to think. Switch over to Kazuo. Now have him leave the team. So now, what has to happen now is Kazuo has to get into an encounter. Now here's where the step count matters. If you have too many steps, you'll be trying to deplete your step counter until you get into a fight. If you have too little, you may end up on the wrong tile. If you get into an encounter here, it's a reset. There's only 2 spots you can get into an encounter. Either right here or right here. If you get into an encounter too early and it's on this tile here, it's not good and it's a reset. Because Emmy has to be able to not totally move off the board yet. So if Kazuo was right here or right here, she can just join the battle without actually moving off of the board to break it. Akiko is the one that has to break the wood. Okay, I should also say this. Below this line here is a no encounter zone, and then anything above this, you can get into an encounter. So that's why, for me, it's easiest to just step on and off here, so Kazuo will always get into a fight on this tile whenever the steps deplete. Exactly. Rib last, rib not last. Okay. Okay, so we got Evil Doll. Evil Doll is not the best enemy to get here. Well, neither is the worms. But as you'll see here, Emmy got a status ailment, and we had to use Akiko to heal her, which is a little bit of a time loss. Watch the tutorial I made. So Kazuo calls Emmy, but since Kazuo's to the left, Emmy's over here, I just hold left until she joins up. Doing Big 20 have been. See right here, this is a status ailment here. So I didn't really lose that much time because we have to call Akiko next anyway. So it's not a big deal. But anyway, Kazuo has to leave the fight. And Emmy is going to call Akiko. This is what you want to see for Kazuo. This means that he left. If he didn't leave, you have to make sure he leaves on the next round, or else this glitch is not going to work. And Kazuo has to leave before Emmy leaves. Okay, so once Akiko is called, she moves down and breaks the wood while Emmy is standing on it. Because she got a status ailment, you can actually have Akiko heal Emmy without joining the battle. She's standing next to Emmy, and she can use her med kit. If you press up one more time, she's going to join up to the battle, which we don't want. But you could just stand next to her and heal her. So a little bit of a time loss there, but it's not too bad. Tutorial like this. Okay, since Kazuo was able to leave on that last round, now Emmy has to leave. If you want, you could use prey points here to defeat the evil doll. The reason why I leave instead of fight is because I don't want to level up too much just yet. So I would rather just leave without getting any experience points here. Okay, so now we're back here. Right now we're actually in control of Emmy, even though we can't move her around, which is not supposed to be possible. We have to team back up with Kazuo. Just switch back to Kazuo. And now you'll see him drag her through the floor. If you don't see this, that means you didn't do it correctly. But if you got this, then that means that you successfully did the board glitch. Team up with Akiko, and you'll see this. This is what you want to see. Now, switch over to Taguchi and have him rescue Emmy. Okay, so the whole point and the whole purpose of this glitch is to be able to move Emmy around remotely using Taguchi, so she can get past rope barriers and glass and whatever else. And essentially now Emmy's in two teams at once. She can use Taguchi as extra storage space, which is required because of the glitch. Now also Emmy runs at twice the speed. To switch over to Akiko. Now if you want to play it safe, after switching to Akiko you could switch back to Kazuo. The reason for that, I sometimes do that because weird glitches can happen if Akiko is in front of the party of 3, and those same glitches don't happen if Kazuo is in front. Yeah, I know it's weird, but you know, once you do the board glitch, a lot of other side effects can happen to screw up your game. So I got lucky here that I didn't get into an encounter while Akiko was in front. Nah. So you have to safely maneuver around, you know, because Emmy is twice the speed, Akiko and Kazuo still at 1 times the speed. So you have to be careful when controlling everybody, especially if Emmy is in front. If she, you know, she moves at twice the speed, but if Akiko and Kazuo are following behind her, the game may soft lock if Akiko and Kazuo go off grid. If they go off grid, you're not going to be able to open the menu and the game will freeze and it's a reset. So you got to be careful about that. So once you get to this position here, switch to Emi so she's in front.
Why you say that, Dave?
And then have Taguchi move up 3 steps. And then switch back. So now you'll see that she moved down to the floor over here. Now, if Emi moves up a few steps, she'll bring Akiko and Kazuo with her. Now, we have Emi go by herself, so she can pick up a weapon. Okay, so I have Emi stop right here. Switch over to Taguchi. Have him go down 1.
Yeah, probably not.
You're not going to be able to see Emi because she's under the floor, but she can still pick this up. Have Emi go down 3 and then switch back to Taguchi. Taguchi goes right 1, down 1. And then she'll be back down there.
Yeah, he's cool. And clunk.
Okay, here's where the route is different from the previous route. In order to get the items we need to have certain items in our inventory prior to the battle with the zombie coming up. And that battle will change or shuffle around other items that are in your current inventory slots. So we need to pick up the spare Polaroid camera and give that to Akiko in her first inventory slot. If we did the glitch right, then it'll change into the 2 keys. But let's first pick it up. We have to be very careful in this room because you have to make sure Emi's in this exact spot here. If she goes 1 tile further here, I think across any of this here, it'll trigger like a bunch of rocks to fall and then you won't be able to get through. If that happens, the item glitch won't work properly if the rocks are triggered. So we switch over to Taguchi. Have him go up 1. Now, I guess to explain the Taguchi movements, Emi will move in the direction of Taguchi's previous movement. So we moved him down previously, so Emi will go down. Okay, so when you're switching back to her here, we still have to make sure that the rocks don't trigger. Hold down on the D-pad so she'll run to the bottom of the screen. If you don't hold down there, the rocks will trigger. Put the Polaroid in your inventory. Now same thing here. You can stand here and it's fine, but if you go up 1 more, you'll trigger the rocks. Switch back to Taguchi here, and then go up 1. So because we went up previously, Emi will move up 1 tile, and we're going up here right now, and it's going to help us out in the next thing we have to bypass. And again, make sure you're holding up on the D-pad so you don't trigger the rocks. When we get back here, team back up with Akiko. And like I said before, we have to give her the Polaroid. And the strong weapon we picked up earlier, let's give that to Kazuo. And again, be careful when Emi is leading the other 2. Open up that door. And we're gonna do a save and reset here. Now, when you're playing the game regularly, you'll always have the chance to do a first attack on the enemy. Now, with this glitch, enemies will attack you first. The way to not have that happen is to save and reset. You could save in the menu here, but if you reset with the menu, it won't work. So you have to reset on your console. A soft reset on your console or emulator will work. This will make sure that you have first attack. I've got to do a save and reset there. And again, be careful maneuvering around the table. As long as you're in a straight line, Emi can move as fast as she wants. But if you're like moving around to the left and right, you got to be more careful. Switch over to Taguchi. Go up. have him go up.
One.
So I do another save here.
Another save here. Now we gotta grab that map.
Now if you're really lucky, you won't get into this encounter here, and you'll save a little bit of time.
Under the table, so we're gonna have to do this encounter here, and then get into another one with the zombie afterwards.
There's a hidden mallet under this table, which we need to do another item glitch. It's called the amulet glitch. So we have to put the mallet in Emmy's first inventory slot. Okay, I'm going to do another save and reset here. So we have first attack when we get into the fight with the zombie. And to clear my step count, I also do another save in case we have to reset, because there are a few different enemies that we can get in this room, and only the zombie will work for the item glitch. So we have to keep resetting until we get the zombie. Now you could get zombie on the first try, or it could be, you know, the 10th try or something. But, you know, all that will waste time if you don't get it on the first try.
Alright, let's get the zombie.
So luckily I got him. Now the other encounter I did previously, like I said, it costs a little bit of time, but, you know, it's still not too bad.
Alright, we got a zombie now.
Okay, also another side effect of this glitch is that there's duplicates of the party members here. So you'll see a duplicate Emmy, Akiko, and Kazuo. So for these duplicates, it doesn't really matter what action that you press here. Only the second time that they appear, it will count. So I just press regular attack for the first time that their name appears. So regular attack, regular attack, regular attack. Okay. Now when Emmy's name shows up again, this is where it counts. Emmy needs to call Asuka.
126 damage.
Akiko use her med kit. The reason why we do that is because we don't want Akiko to do any damage to the zombie. The damage has to be done with Kazuo. I don't exactly know why, but this is how it is. And Kazuo needs to do, like I said earlier, exactly 126 damage to the zombie. Here's why I said earlier that if you level up too much, it's going to make this bar, your prayer bar, a lot bigger. And it's going to be harder to tell what frame it is. That's going to be the 126 damage frame. So if you level up too much, like I said, this number will be higher and the bar will have to be in a different spot, basically. So most of the time, the bar is going to look about here. The only real way to tell is when you attack the zombie and you see what the number is. At least for me, it's hard to tell, like, frame perfect stuff. But yeah, it's all trial and error.
Did we get?
Okay, now once Asuka is called, move her out of this room.
Enough? That looked like it could have been less than 126.
See, even me in the video, I'm saying I'm not even sure if I did it right. Yeah, keep trying until you get it. Asuka, move her on this exact tile here. Now, moving Asuka in different areas, in different rooms, that'll influence what items could be shuffled or glitched into your inventory. If she's, in a different room or whatever, it'll change what items you get. So it's very particular on where you stand. I mean, there's a couple other spots where the glitch will still work, but I find that it's easiest just to bring her up here and you're fine.
Yeah.
So we got 126.
Oh, we got 126. Okay.
And even then, you still might not get all the items you need. Maybe I've been just getting lucky with it.
That's the second part.
So just keep pressing A to go through all these glitched level ups here.
Glitch that we got. We got one more.
Okay. You'll see that Emmy's by herself here now. She has to go down the steps for Akiko to reappear. Now, warning, don't ever switch to Kazuo or Asuka. Well, definitely not Kazuo. If you switch to Kazuo, you'll soft lock the game. He's pretty much a ghost right now. You can still retrieve items from his inventory once you're teamed up with Akiko, but you can't switch to him or control him because the game will freeze. And Asuka, you may get lucky and not freeze the game if you accidentally switch to her, but a lot of times the game will also freeze if you switch to her. So now we did the board glitch setup. We successfully did the item glitch. Now here's the third part of the setup. This is the door glitch. Now if we don't get this glitch, it's also got to reset.
Okay.
After doing that battle with the zombie, we're in a weird game state where you can't switch party members and you also can't get into any other random encounters. We'll fix that a little bit later, but right now, because we're in a no encounter state, we can still get into encounters with non-random enemies like these bats. Now, when we get into encounters with these bats, it can cause doors to open and close and whatever. So we have to get into 2 encounters with these bats. Let's go back up the steps and go back down to respawn it.
Come on, Asuka. Don't fuck this up.
Now on the second battle, it's very important. The glitch will not work if Asuka does too much damage to the bats. If she does, well, really any more than 26 or 27 damage to the bats, the gold key door that we need to go in will not open up, and it's a reset. So luckily Asuka did only 1 damage, so we're good.
Okay, we might have a run, Might have some.
This is also a little bit different than the previous runs here. Akiko is in a weird game state herself. If you try to talk to her or team up with her, the game will completely glitch out and freeze, and yeah, it's crazy. So what has to happen is you have to basically rescue her. You have to grab a rope and pull her in and rescue her, even though she doesn't look like she's needs to be rescued. She does. Okay, yeah, so let's look at the items that we got here. Emmy's key went missing. It got replaced with a gas container, which is totally unnecessary and unneeded, but that's just what happened. Another side effect. The mallet turned into the amulet, which is what we wanted. Akiko's medkit got replaced with a gem, which is also, again, not needed. It's just a side effect. And here's one of the other main items. We got the 2 keys, which is a very important key. It makes the game so much faster getting this key early. This is Taguchi's camera is in this slot and also this slot. Again, just another weird side effect. We'll have to clear that item out to get rid of it. Kazuo kept his lighter. He also got the diary, which is another required item for the end of the game. We're going to swap the 2 keys for the amulet because we need the 2 keys. We don't need the amulet just yet. We need it for the fight at the end of the game. But we do need to open a door with this. So we swap those.
The item glitch.
And we put this camera here into Emmy's inventory.
Glitch. Now we just can't.
And we leave the team.
Screw up anywhere else.
Swap that camera. Well, there's no sprite for the camera in this game. You're not supposed to see it because it's Taguchi's permanent items. You're not supposed to actually see it on the overworld. So it shows up as a sword, but yeah, that's just a funny thing that happens. So swap that for the wood.
So yeah, I gotta
go up here and grab the rope.
On this now.
Now, very important, like I was saying, make sure you shoot the rope at Akiko and rescue her. And then, again, if you did the door glitch correct, this door will be open. And if it didn't work, this door will still be closed. Okay, here's a forced QuickTime event. Just pray to get rid of it. Go into this room. This is the rats and cats room. This room is very random. This could slow you down if you get a bad pattern. As you can see.
Cats room is annoying.
Here, we do need the rope again soon, but there is another rope coming up, so we don't need this one. We can swap it for the blue candle.
Alright, not too bad.
Let's drop off the blue candle here.
Nah.
Some of my menuing was a little sloppy there, so that cost me a few seconds. So we'll drop off that candle.
Yeah, I've considered that.
As a safety, I use this tonic here. Now, in the other routes, I used a tonic after we leveled up. So Emi and Akiko and Kazuo all had high HP after that. Now, with this route, we don't get to do that. So, I mean, everybody's HP is pretty low. We're still at like the starting level health. So just as a safety, I grab that tonic and use it. Now that only protects Emi, but Kazuo and Akiko are still pretty low health.
Pretty sure something's gonna go wrong here, but
Here's another quick time event. Just pray, get rid of it.
you never know. We could have a good run.
And also you'll notice that we haven't gotten into any encounters yet. Just like I said earlier, we're still in the state where we can't get into encounters or switch party members. But we could fix that by shooting the rope. So we grab the rope in this room. We use the rope to get across the ice here. Okay, now, for the fastest rope animation, we could just shoot the rope at an item. So we could shoot it at the blue candle, and by shooting the rope, we can bring back random encounters and party switching. Now, the game can still glitch out and not allow you to switch party members. And if that's the case, then it's a reset. So, yeah. So what we have to do now is to shoot the rope, and then swap the rope for the blue candle. From here, we can warp Emi back to the beginning of the game with Taguchi. If Taguchi goes through a door, he brings Emi with him, which is required right here.
Okay, Taguchi.
This is a glitched item in his inventory. So we're going to swap that for the blue candle just to clear the inventory out because Emi's going to be picking up a couple other items. Switch back to Emi. Have Taguchi go up one so Emi can go down here.
We need to get into...
I get into another encounter here to level up.
Encounter here.
Because we're going to be getting into a pretty difficult area pretty soon. So you saw Emi just leveled up twice and Akiko leveled up. Okay, so when we get here, we're going to stay in the middle under here.
Up one.
Taguchi goes up one. And Emi's going to walk all the way over here until she gets to the door right there. There's really no way to see where she is, so just hold up and I guess you could just judge where she is. If you don't move left or right, you're fine. You'll be right in line with the door. And use the 2 keys on this door here.
Emi's under the floor right now.
And then once the door is open, have Emi go up one, so then she goes into the room. Now once you're here, don't move Emi yet. Switch back to Taguchi. And have him move just like that, and have him stop right there. Switch back to Emi, and hold right, and she'll reappear on the floor down there. Use the 2 keys on this door. Swap the glitched item for the photo. And we don't need the 2 keys anymore after this, so swap that for the last blue candle. When we get there,
give this to Emi.
I have Taguchi give the mallet to Emi and swap that for the photo she just picked up.
Go left once. I'm gonna do a...
I go left once with Taguchi there. I did a safety save here. Oof, I made a mistake here and accidentally
Oh fuck.
accidentally did that. So yeah, don't do that. Make sure you switch to Emmy
Good thing
so
I
she can bypass this here.
just saved.
But yeah, I did a save and reset because there's really hard enemies in this area that can potentially glitch your game. So I did a save and reset to have first attack against them.
That would have been a disaster.
I have Taguchi go left twice there, so she could bypass those gates. And Emmy's going to pick up the strongest weapon in the game, which is this pitchfork.
Do another save here.
Did another safety save here.
The enemies in this area can glitch the game out.
And you'll see Kazuo got a lot of damage there, 127 damage.
Oof.
And you see he only has 23 HP left. The run could have ended right there.
He's almost dead.
So I did another save and reset, just because of like Kazuo's health is real bad. And also, if you haven't noticed by now, even though Emmy's by herself, Akiko and Kazuo and sometimes other party members fight with her. So that's just another weird side effect of the glitch. So we need to pick up that coffin, so we swap it for the mallet. The mallet's no longer needed. And be careful here. Like I said before, the bats open up doors and do weird things when we got into encounters with them earlier. This path in the wall here opened up on this side, but it didn't open up on the other side. So it's possible that Emmy can get stuck in the wall on the other side, which has happened to me quite a few times. So you have to make sure you hold right on the D-pad and don't let go of it until she's out of the wall.
We need to get that tonic on the table.
We can team back up with Akiko now. Be careful again when moving her. That we gotta use that tonic. So you could put it in an empty slot and use it real quick. I like to reorganize my inventory at this point. I like to give the coffin and the amulet to Akiko. Switch over to Taguchi. And let's give the blue candle that he was holding back to Emmy. Place the last blue candles here. Use Kazuo's lighter to light them. And then pray to open up the path. Okay, here we're going to have Emmy leave the team once again. And then we're going to do a save and reset.
We got to give the photo back to Emmy from
So we're going to go through this exact path here.
Taguchi. We can't forget that.
Once you get to this tile here, go back to Taguchi. First, we're going to give the photo back to Emmy. And then we're going to move Taguchi up. Now, here, I was unlucky, and I got into an encounter.
Uh-oh. I think we're good. We're still good.
If we didn't get into that encounter, we would have moved Taguchi up one more tile and bypassed this dialog box here. Also, what I should have done, I made a mistake, and I should have done another save and reset, because as you'll see in a second, Lady Mamiya, she attacks first, and she's not supposed to. We're supposed to get first attack, so I kind of messed up there, wasted a little bit of time.
Oof. This could be a good run if we get good RNG here.
See right here, we're supposed to have the option to attack first.
Oh shit, which one? Oh. Okay.
So this fight here is all based on the dialogue. So the right dialogue needs to happen for you to use a specific item to advance to the next section of the fight and the next phase. To get the first dialogue to trigger, the fastest way to do it is to have everybody leave. So you'll see that I'm choosing to leave. Now, when you choose to leave, Lady Mamiya doesn't let you leave anyway. This is the final battle, so you can't escape. But using that command is just faster than regular attack. So that's still not the right dialogue.
And we're not getting very good RNG.
There we go. This is the right dialogue to use the amulet and the photo. You can do both on this one round. So, okay, now remember what I said. The duplicate party members don't count. There's duplicate members of Emmy here. And it's only going to count the second time that she appears. You could just press regular attack here when you see Emmy's name the first time, but I chose the photo here. For Akiko, use the amulet. Kazuo, leave, because he doesn't have any important items for this part. And then for Emmy, Emmy's name came up again, so make sure you select the photo here. So it would have been a little bit faster if the duplicate Emmy attacked, Akiko used the amulet, Kazuo leave, and then the real Emmy uses the photo. So that could be a little bit faster if you did it that way. But not too much faster. When you see this, that means pray. The fastest way to do it is to have just the second Emmy, the real Emmy, pray just a little bit. So you can just press regular attack for everyone, and I only prayed this much for the real Emmy. And that will bring us to phase 2 of the fight.
Phase 2. This could be a good run. Could be good.
Okay, so now we're at phase 2. For the first round, we're going to have everybody press regular attack. For the second round, we're going to press regular attack for Emmy and Akiko and have Kazuo use the diary. Now, also, if just by chance you may have to do another round if you didn't do enough damage, and then use the diary after that. So that worked out. So when you see this dialogue here, have everybody pray. Now, also I could have saved a little bit of time here. On this first duplicate Emmy, you could just press regular attack here. That first pray didn't count, so just press regular attack on the first duplicate Emmy. And then for Akiko, have her pray. Kazuo pray. And then the real Emmy, make sure she prays. This dialogue here is for the coffin. For duplicate Emmy, we press regular attack. For Akiko, we use the coffin. For Kazuo, we leave. And for real Emmy, we leave.
This could have been a sub 13 probably if I had better luck.
And this is our final dialogue here. We can Press regular attack for the duplicate Emmy. Regular attack for Akiko. Regular attack for Kazuo, and then pray with the real Emmy. And then bam, there you go. That's the run. It's really not that difficult of a run once you memorize what to do. It's actually, to me, it's a pretty fun run. It's just that it can take a while to get a run going, especially now if you're really trying to get you know, a sub 13. I did make you know, some mistakes in this run that cost me a little bit of time. This probably could have been a 12xx run, maybe like a 12.4 or 12.5x. My theory tasks, you know, everything goes perfect enemy RNG, no mess ups, is 9 minutes and I think 8 seconds. But yeah, the time can definitely be improved. It's just getting, you know, good step count RNG, good enemy RNG, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions, let me know.